Hello, welcome back to my Tour de France watercolors. Racing has been on today. It's they are 70 kilometers in the stage, and it's really just now, and it really isn't all that established. In fact, it's not established at all. So the lead group, and what I'm painting here is going to be the catch of one set of chasers. One set of chasers chasing the three leaders on the stage. But as this stage catch happens, the whole peloton is not far behind, not far at all. And that's the way it's been all day. Nobody's letting anything go. So before the rest day, it's kind of the day after the rest day. So 2 days ago, they came out of the start with a climb, an early climb right away, and it just went, and it went hard from the very beginning of the stage, and which was at that point, that had never really happened in the Tour. It just, it's not a thing, and it was GC riders, the breakaway hopefuls. It was everybody, and of course the sprinters were immediately put into difficulty, and it was kind of touch and go whether they were actually going to be able to make the time limit. And then things finally calmed down, and so they got a chance to get back into it. We haven't hit the things calming down stage yet of the stage of the stage, but we'll see what happens. So this is the three leaders, and Tish Benoot rides on the team that holds the yellow jersey, Jumbo Visma. So he's in the lead group, and maybe in a sort of potentially defensive, get him up there, because there is one climb near the end of the stage. So if you have a guy out front, you've got someone in a position that can either be ready to go with their leader once the leader catches them, if the whole front group comes up, or if things start to go, to use the English phrase, pear-shaped, you've got somebody up front that you can say, hey, sit up. We're going to need help back here. And that's the double advantage of the guy you've just asked to come back and ride with your leader has also had a little bit of a rest as he waits for the leader to catch up to him. So there are multiple variables playing today. And that's been this year's Tour. A lot going on. It's been a tough one to figure out what's going to happen today, or not just today, but every day. The only thing that's predictable, that has remained predictable, are the two leaders. We all thought it was going to be a race between Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogačar, and that part of the Tour has been consistent or predictable. It is those two. And so they're racing and having their race betwixt each other. Hey, I got to use the word betwixt. And everybody else is racing for the crumbs, or more than the crumbs, but they're racing either for stage victories or for the third step at the podium, or whatever else is on offer. Because at this point, the two leaders of the Tour have opened up 2.5 minutes on the next closest guy, and the guy behind them is 4 minutes. So the chances of anybody else getting into this race to actually fight for the D shape. Call this We've Got Company. So I normally, like at this point in the painting of them, I'll flip it over and put all the information on the back. But just in the interest of time, I'm going to let that go. And that's nice. And I've actually had people who have bought these and they'll send me pictures of how they frame them. And they frame them so that if you turn the frame over, you can see the back of the painting. And there you can see the particulars, you know, that information of who the racers are, if there's, you know, what climb they're on, that kind of thing, that extra information. And I put some of that information on there so that when I go to write the blog, the art of cycling.blogspot.com, I have that extra, you know, sometimes it might be a little while before I get to painting the blog, writing the blog. And so I need some cliff notes, which is what's on the back of there is my cliff notes. Do you all know what cliff notes are? So I have those on the back just so it can remind me what I want to write about when I write the blog. So the blog goes sort of a more succinct written version of what I've just told you about the race. But it covers every painting that I do. And I'm just showing you one of these each day. But, oh shoot, I see another yellow I didn't do. I'm just showing you one of these real-time paintings. But I paint, so far this stage, as few as 5 and as many, not this stage obviously, but this tour, as few as 5 and as many as 8 per day. And as things escalate in the tour, meaning as what's happening in the painting or the particular stage gets more aggressive, evolved, I'll paint more. And in the past, I've painted as many as 14 paintings in a single stage. So I've laid in the yellow and the quotation marks flesh tone. And now come back through and go to the next of the warm colors. So the red, there's actually very little red in this piece. I think that was it, except for this roof here. The classic terracotta roofs, I would say, of southern France, but we're still sort of in the Massif Central. We're like smack dab in the middle of France right now as we head east towards the Alps. As I recall, I don't think we're going to leave France again for the rest of the tour. So just to remind you, we started the tour in the Basque region of Spain, and we raced there for 2.5 stages. We just got, I think it was the 3rd stage that we got into France, but spent most of the day in Spain. And that was along the beautiful coastline. If you go to the website, gregleach.com, you can find one of the original has sold, but there are paintings. There is a painting of the coastline, and and there are digital prints available. So what will happen is I'll go, as I'm painting these and putting them on the website, you can then, I have the option of setting up digital prints. And in some cases, I will set up a digital print at the beginning just because I know, like in that case, I knew it was going to be a popular image. And it has been, and I've sold a number of those prints. And those prints are unlimited. Of course, the originals are original, and therefore, when they're gone, they're gone. Oops. I'm a little tired today. Eventually with the tour, I will so I do work nights as a bartender, and that helps me be able to follow what I want to do in the studio and paint what I want to paint. Takes the pressure off of, I don't mean to say I don't want sales, because I certainly do, but I'm able to pursue what I want to pursue in the studio without having to go, oh, is this going to sell? And you should never, ever, 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 ever figure out what you think is going to sell and paint it, because you're going to end up doing, I think you're going to end up doing particularly uninteresting, unimaginative artwork that is just not going to set the world on fire. Not that I'm presumptuous enough to think that my art is going to set the world on fire. But the point being, the way I like to say it is, paint what you want to paint and then figure out how to sell it. And as long as you do that, you're going to be fine. And I have done exhibitions. I have created a lot of work that I can't imagine who would actually buy it and hang it, but it was something I needed to paint. Particularly the suite, it's a whole series of paintings called 2020 that I exhibited as such twice now. Once just outside of DC and once down in North Carolina. And there's a lot of hard images in that because 2020 was hard, wasn't it? Politically, personally, spiritually. And the paintings all try to capture that. But that's like, so I got interested in something, had something I wanted to say with my artwork, and so I said it. And if they never sell, they never sell. And by working at another job, but a job that I don't go into until the afternoon, evening, so I'm free to do what I'm doing right now every morning is, make art in the morning, and then in the evening, I go try to make the mortgage, as it were. Because I've tried it the other way. Any of you who try to work a 9 to 5, 40-hour work week, and then come home and work in the studio, that's hard. I admit it's hard. And I've worked that way in the past, particularly when I worked in theater. And that was even more so because I would work, I'd paint all day. I was a scenic artist. So if you're painting scenery all day and then you come home and try to get in the studio and paint, it's just, that's tough. So while bartending isn't the easiest job in the world, it does give me my mornings free to pursue what I want to pursue in the studio. So this is sort of, I'm laying in the background. I've got to do the sky yet. I need just a little bit of shadow on this building under the eave. And this is the thing with watercolor. His white jersey, the white stucco of the building, I need to leave as paper. And so that's the next mountain range. And so you can see that the color is getting less and less distinct. Mountain range, hillock would be a better word. And then the sky. And there's, if you look into the deep distance from a high venue, that transition from earth to sky in the far distance, just like at the ocean, it's really kind of hard to distinguish. So this white also, just like this, needed a little bit of shadow. His shirt, his jersey needs a little bit of shadow too. Also, Mads is a former world champion. He won his jersey in England in a nasty rainy day where he went off the front. Nobody could catch him, which is why him being off the front today could mean a stage win, because it's not a big mountain stage today. So all left to do is to lay in the sky, and that leaves it left to say that, again, I've talked about the blog. All of this work gets written about and posted on my cycling blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. Of course, that'll be in the link. And then at that site, you'll find a direct link over to my website, gregleach.com, and there you can purchase the work if you're so inclined. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe so you know when each of these pop up. Like I say, I'm doing one for every tour, every stage of the tour, and every stage of the women's Tour de France, the Tour de France Femme. So there's 8 more stages of the men's race, 9 more stages of the men's race, and then immediately after that, in fact, on the same day, for the last day of the men, the first day of the women, there's 8 more of the women. So there's a lot more videos coming. So subscribe so you know they're happening. If you like what you see, leave me a thumbs up. That helps other people find it. And I really do appreciate you watching. Thank y'all.